Hello folks, in our previous sessions we have seen what are the life cycle stages and life cycle phases of a servlet. Today in this class I am going to show you how to deploy a servlet, and you can go to the previous links where I have already given you those procedure for installation of the Apache Tomcat server and how to download it, how to install it, and how to use it. Okay, once that is installed successfully, then we'll write a code for on the servlet and we'll deploy it. So we'll see what is the process. Let's start. So this is the deploying a servlet. Our deployment is nothing but when you create any product, when you have developed any product, once it is ready, we'll release into the market, right? So that is nothing but deploying, the last stage. So once the servlet is ready, we have to execute it. That execution process is there. It is not just like double clicking the browser and seeing that output in the browser. Okay, so it is not like that. So we'll go with the deploying a servlet. Creating a directory structures, we have a specific hierarchy for creating a structure. If you see here, there are the directory structure defines what where to put the different types of files so that the web container to get the information and respond to the client. The client will send the request to the server will get the process it and get the responses back to the client. This is what happens. So for making it the process to work, we have this directory structure. Once you download your Apache Tomcat server, you install it, you have inside the Apache Software Foundation folder, I'll show you in few minutes. Inside that you'll have a folder called Web Apps. Right somewhere you have Web Apps, and inside that Web Apps you need to create a Web INF folder. Inside INF folder you have to create a classes folder and ensure that your previous Web INF is written in caps. Web, W-E-B, web in uppercase, hyphen, it is not underscore, it is hyphen, then INF, it is also in uppercase. Then inside that you need to create 3 files. One is the folder, classes folder, and the other is a library folder in the same Web INF, and other file you will have web.xml. I will talk about this in few minutes. Okay. And if you have a form creation and if you want to navigate using the form creation, then we place that HTML form here in your web app folder. So this is the HTML. So remember this structure, only very simple. Inside web app, already you'll have web app folder, web INF inside classes, then lib folder. So what is to be kept inside the classes and lib folders, I will tell you. Inside the classes, whatever the Java servlet you will execute, the class file you will place, you'll copy paste here. And similarly in lib also one jar file is there that I'll tell you that you have to copy paste here. So that's all about the directory structure. And for deploying a servlet, you need to write a servlet program, right? And I told you there are 3 different ways of writing a servlet program by implementing the servlet interface, by inheriting the generic servlet class, by inheriting the HTTP servlet class. So this is how you create a servlet. The sample code you have, like printing the statement welcome to servlet. For 2 minutes I'll explain what is this. So these are the packages. So in Java libraries you have to import first for using the servlet: java.io.star, javax.servlet.star, javax.servlet.http.star. HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. I told you in my previous classes also, HTTP is a protocol that is used to transport from one page to another, navigate from one location to other page. So that navigation is done from client to server using this HTTP only. So that is the reason we have to get this HTTP package also. Then you write your class, public class, first servlet is my class name here, which is using HTTP servlet, which is extending HTTP servlet. Now this is the third type of HTTP servlet class that I am using. Okay, and inside that you can use either service, either do get or do post. This is the initialization phase. Your HTTP servlet is initialized here. Okay. here your HTTP servlet is initialized. Then this do-get is the service phase. So in the lifecycle phases, you have three phases: init, service, destroy. So this is init phase, this is the service phase, the second phase. So this is either you can write with the do-get, do-post, or service method. So do-get is having a parameters HTTP servlet request with object request, HTTP servlet response with object response, throw servlet exception, and also IO exception. So set content type. So here we are giving a set content type, like how the request is being sent. Either it is in the form of text or in the HTML format. If you see the architecture of the servlet, we have seen the response is sent in the form of HTML. So text or HTML will take, and this is the response. This is a content type. Okay, so it is in the form of this is a response that is given back from server to the client. So this object, whatever you have created in this HTTP servlet response, is that using that object we call this set content type method. And here response.getWriter. Normally in that Java, we used to write system.out.println because we are seeing all the outputs in the console there. But here we are not going to see the output in the console. Rather, we are seeing the output in the browser because it is a server-side programming. So to do that, we are using the getWriter method, and we are calling this getWriter method using this response object only. Response. Why it is response? Because it has to fetch the data and it should give the response to the client. Okay, so this print writer is the other interface you have. So create an object for that. Print writer out is equal to response.getWriter. So all your responses now can be called using this out object. So out.println, 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 out.println is giving you the response. So response in the form of HTML. So in the first unit already you are aware of how to write a HTML code. We are integrating the HTML here into the servlet. So for presentation, for front end part, so HTML head, title and body. Inside the body, here I am just giving a single statement that is to be displayed in the browser as output, that is welcome to servlet. Okay, so this is a simple code you have to write in any of the IDEs. So normal notepad also you can write and save it, and normal execution, like you will execute Java C your class names per servlet .java and compile it. Once you get a class name, keep it ready, handy. Okay, then the third step is compiling the servlet. So for compiling the servlet, jar file is required to be loaded. I'll tell you what is a jar file, where to be placed and everything. And different servers are, so we have all this. So servlet API.jar is one of the jar file that is used for executing your Java program. Whatever the program you have here, since we are importing these packages JavaX servlet.star, JavaX servlet.http.star, so this is very important, this jar file. Without this jar file you will get errors. Okay, so you can either use Apache Tomcat server or WebLogic, Glassfish, JBoss, any of the servers we can use, and most preferred is Apache Tomcat server. We use this for our servlet programming. And remember, servlet API.jar file is important. And then two ways to load the jar file. So how to load the jar file is again very important. Okay, so I'll tell you that. And then deploying. So in my next class I will show you practically how to write a servlet program, this in the notepad, and where to place the servlet API.jar, and this loading the jar file, Java JRE LIB folders. Okay, and you already, once you're a Java programmer, you will know how to give the paths for the Java. So after compiling the Java, place the class file in WebINF classes folder. You know what is the classes folder? So in this directory structure, you have this classes folder. So inside this, we have to place the class file. Okay, and other thing you have is a web.xml. So this web.xml is also called as deployment descriptor. Okay, this web.xml, which is common for all the structure is common for all the servlet program. You once you remember, you can write it for every program. Okay, web.xml, and this name doesn't change. Web.xml you should give as is. Okay, so that is nothing but your fourth step. Create the deployment descriptor, that is web.xml file. Deployment descriptor is an XML file which the web container gets the information about the servlet to be invoked, and web container uses the parser to get the information from the web.xml file only. And there are many XML parsers like SAGS DOM, which we have already done in the first unit XML. So there are many elements in web.xml, some necessary elements to run simple servlet program or. So this is web.xml. Okay, the structure is same. This web app, this is the root node, and inside that you have is these two nodes, servlet and servlet mapping. Inside the servlet you'll have is a servlet name, servlet class. Inside servlet mapping you have is a servlet name again. This name doesn't change, and URL pattern. URL pattern is with this path. See, you have slash here, but nowhere in the name and class you have this slash, but this is URL pattern. With this only, whatever you give here is used for executing in the browser. So this URL pattern is very important, and this slash is also very important, remember. So this is web.xml structure. This is same for every program. So these are the 4 steps that you need to remember. Then once everything is done, we start the server and deploy. And to start Apache Tomcat server, we have one startup.bat file. You can start it from there, and you have a few configurations also. Remember, you have to create, along with the Java home, you have to create Catalina home. So Catalina home, you will give this Apache Tomcat server Apache Software Foundation path up to Tomcat. So if it is 8.0, if it is 9.0, up to there we have to give. This is, in this example we have taken Apache Tomcat with version 7.0. Then Java home, JDK you will give path, and this you are aware of. And the new one is the Catalina home, and set the class path. Class path you will give lib Tomcat C program files, Apache Software Foundation Tomcat 7.0 lib servlet api.jar. So this jar file is very important, which resides in the lib once you install your Apache Tomcat server. Okay, so this is a configuration. This configuration is also very important. So finally, how you access is, while installation we give the port number. So you can take a quick look at that video I have already created, how to install and how to give these port numbers and all. I have given 4 8s there. So the port number you have to give here localhost :8888. If you give that, it will be working. Okay, followed by this name, whatever you give in this URL pattern. So this one is so this name you will give after the port number. So after port number you have to give here servlet for servlet. This is nothing but the folder which is created. I'll show you this. Okay, so remember, once all these 6 steps, what are the 6 steps? Create this directory structure first and create your servlet program, compile it, set the paths, then create the deployment descriptor like this, and start your server and deploy. And this configuration is also very important. Once all this is done, okay, once all this is done, you can see your output. Your application is ready. Okay, thank you so much guys. I hope you understand very good, and in next class I will show you how all this to be done practically. Thank you.